DevUI is the easiest and fastest way to work with and test your agents in a .NET application using Microsoft Agent Framework. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and run DevUI, which allows you to chat with your agents, see your token usage, which tools your agent decides to call, and much more. So let's dive in. In my previous video, we built a single budget agent in a .NET web app, so we'll use this setup to add DevUI to our solution. If you're new to Microsoft Agent Framework, check out the previous video. The link is in the description. Okay, first we need to go to Program.cs because I'm going to add a couple of mappings and then we're going to install some packages or references for those to work. So first I'm going to do using Microsoft.agents AI.devui. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say builder.services.add OpenAI responses and builder.services add OpenAI conversations like this. And these add the services needed for OpenAI compatible response and conversation endpoints, which DevUI depends on. DevUI requires both of them to be registered along with their matching endpoint mappings. So let's add them by doing, I'm going to go down here, app.map OpenAI responses and app.map OpenAI conversations. Okay, finally, I'm going to say if we're in a development environment, map the DevUI endpoints. I'll do if app.environment is development, then app.map DevUI. So as you can see, we have a bunch of red lines now because VS Code is going to complain about these references. So to get this working, we're going to download the DevUI package, which also depends on the agent's AI hosting package. So the first thing is to open up the terminal. And I'm going to cd into budget tracker API. And then I'm going to install the first package, which is the DevUI. So I'll do .NET add package Microsoft.agents AI dev and then pre-release. Okay, so it's telling me that you have an older version of the Microsoft Agents AI package and DevUI requires at least 1.1.0. So I'm going to say .NET add package. We can just update it like this, Microsoft agents.ai. I'm going to specify the version, which is 1.1.0. And this is the minimum required version. So let's run this. Okay, all good to go. I'm going to try to run this again. Okay, perfect. Next, I'm going to install the hosting package. So I'll do .NET add package Microsoft agents.ai hosting pre-release. Cool. I'm just going to go here. And as you can see, we have the 1.1 version of this package, which is the minimum required. And then we have DevUI, this version also, hosting, and the rest of the packages from the previous video. So I'm going to run .NET restore. Let me clear this and .NET build. All right, super. Let's run this and see what we have. So I'm going to say .NET watch run. Okay, so let's go to the browser window and see what we have. So I'm just going to say localhost and the port and then DevUI. Awesome. DevUI is Microsoft's official visual playground for the agent framework. It gives you a full chat experience right in the browser so you can talk to your agent. You can watch your tools get called live, see every trace and event, and even check token usage for every request and response. It's perfect when you just want to test your implementation. So I have this drop down at the top left, and this is what lets me choose which agent from my app I can talk to and interact with. And as you can see, DevUI wasn't able to find my budget coach agent. So I'm going to go back to the code and fix this. Okay, so let's go back to budget agent. And the first thing I'm going to do is expose this agent publicly so that DevUI can actually see it. And we just simply need to say public AI agent, and then we give it a name. Agent is this guy here, agent. Okay, so basically, like I said, this exposes the agent, this one. So now DevUI can pick it up automatically. Okay, now I'm going to close this and go to Program.cs, and I'm going to register the agent like this. So we can say builder.add agent, and then we have to pass a name. And this name must match your naming here when you created the agent. So let me go back, and our agent is called Budget Coach. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and then we can use dependency injection, this, and we bring that agent from the service. So get required service budget agent. This is our class dot agent. Oops. Okay, perfect. Now this tells the app that I want you to register an AI agent called Budget Coach and get this agent from this service using this property agent. This is the agent property that we created here just now, this one. Okay, now I'm going to open the terminal again, and I'm going to say .NET restore and .NET build. Cool. Next, I'm going to run this. So .NET watch run. And if it's all good, I'm going to go back to the browser window to see if we can finally see our budget agent. So I'm going to refresh and let's see. Now that's DevUI running with our very own budget coach, and it can now see it and we can choose it and have a conversation with it. Now I can say things like, what is my budget for this month? So could you please confirm? Yes. And as you can see, we have plenty to work with. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of DevUI so you can see what you're working with. In my previous video, I had set up my own chat interface, but this here provides me with all the tools that I need to test my agent and look at all what's happening behind the scenes. Stick around because this is the part that actually saves you hours of debugging. First, we have our agent selector, which is this drop down here, and you can press that or click that and you can see the registered agents from your app to choose from. In our case, we just have this budget coach, so we're going to stick with that. And then this is the chat window that we're working with. So this is where you can see all the agent conversation, that are happening through this window. You can have separate conversations. So you can press here on new conversation, and then that's gonna create a new session. So you can choose your session from here to view other conversations that you had with this particular agent. If we go to the right side, we can see this events tab. And this is really one of the most important features of DevUI because it lets you see a breakdown of every status that your agent had to go through. So as you can see, we have this function call, which is complete as a status. We can see that since we asked it about our budget, it confirmed the month, so April 2026, and this is what it passed as an argument to our function get budget status, which we created in our previous video. So again, if you haven't seen it, go to the description and make sure to check it out. So we can see the tool called here, and then every status that the agent went through. So this is a response complete status, the number of tokens that it used, input, output, and total. This is pretty interesting. So that's going to save you a lot of time in terms of debugging. So you can see exactly how your agent is functioning and how it's reasoning as it's processing whatever request you sent it. Let me show you tools. So in our case, again, the agent decided to call get budget status. But if I say, for instance, create a new expense of $20 on coffee for today. So the agent wants me to confirm amount, coffee, food. Okay, yes. And as you can see, we have a new expense that was added. So the agent, to do that, had to call the add transaction tool. Again, this is in the previous video, but here are the arguments: 20, coffee, food, and today's date. And here, as you can see in the chat, we have the timestamp plus the number of tokens. So we can see that we used 2K total tokens. And then there's this little icon here that says this prompt used a tool. And if we press on it, it's going to expand to show us which tool was called. So we have add transaction async, basically the same thing that we see here with the arguments that it used. All of this really gives you access to a simple tool that Microsoft built for developers like us to visualize and debug our agents during development. This means that you can now set up complex workflows, debug why a tool didn't fire, catch expensive prompts early on, so that's going to save you a lot of money, and then see exactly what's happening without leaving the browser. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.